Hello Dragon Ballers, it's Dokkan and today we are going to discuss all of the upcoming banners coming to Global up till about the 3-year anniversary and a little bit beyond quite possibly. This should cover us for basically the summer. This is essentially what to expect over the next few months, summer edition, something like that. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but the first one that is actually going to happen, we've already got it confirmed in the news, is the Jiren / Ultra Instinct Goku banner. Now, Ultra Instinct Goku seems more featured here, on the banner, but this is really kind of the debut of Jiren, so I consider this the Jiren banner. Now, this one I've already talked about in a previous video. Long story short is if you don't have Ultra Instinct Goku, this is a good time to get him. It's buy 3, get 1 free. That's a really good use of your stones. We've still got a couple of months to go until the 3-year anniversary. I was reporting it as June, but it's actually July. Thank you guys for correcting me on that. My bad. But yeah, so if you do have Ultra Instinct Goku and you're free to play, I would skip this. If you're, if you put a little bit of money into it and you want to go for an Ultra Instinct Goku dupe, yeah, sure, absolutely, by all means, go ahead and go for it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for free-to-play players specifically, I would say this one is a definite skip because Jiren will definitely return when he gets his Dokkan Awakening. It will not make sense for Global to pull him off of the banner that he will be on in the future. Now, this is not confirmed, but very likely to happen. For the 3-year anniversary, that's sometime around early mid-July-ish, somewhere in that range, we should be getting the LR Vegeta and Gogeta banners. Now, these ones are buy 3, get 1 free. Global might do the step up thing where they have the, 10 stone summon and then the 25 and then the 40 and then the free one and then they're all 50, 50, 50, 0, 50, 50, so on and so forth. You know how the step up works. These banners, I would say, are the next big ones to save for. Because now for the Vegeta banner, if you don't walk away with LR Vegeta, who is, in my opinion, the best unit in the game, hands down, if you don't walk away with him, you could be walking away with one of the 4 new Gokus and Vegetas. You could be walking away with the physical Super Vegeta. You could be walking away with Kid Buu. These are fantastic banners to pull on. There's only 10 featured SSRs. Usually LR banners have 14. So this is a much better chance of getting an LR. And once again, it's buy 3, get 1 free. So this is pretty much the next big thing that you want to save your stones for if you're free to play. Now, let's talk about the Gogeta banner. The Gogeta banner is actually better than the Vegeta banner. Even though Vegeto's the better unit, I would say that if you're free to play, unless you have all of these units that I'm going to discuss, this is probably the one that's more likely to give you good results. And the reason for that is that you have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you have Int Gogeta, you've got Strength Janemba. Before, we were only talking about Super Vegeta and Kid Buu as your alternate great units to pull. In this case, there's 3 great units that you could possibly pull besides the LR. Not to say that the 4 new units are bad or that Strength Gogeta is bad or anything like that, but as far as top tier, amazing, wow, look at what I got units, these are the ones that I think really stand out. And so Gogeta has a little bit more of an edge as a banner, but once again, Vegeta is the better banner. Which one do you want to go for? It's really up to you. If you want to try for both, if you have the stones for it, by all means go for it. But it really comes down to what you have. If you only have, a couple hundred stones, you might want to just focus on one of these banners. Now, if you pull one of the LRs early, great, move on to the next one, try to get the other one. But once again, that's on you. And I highly recommend for paying players to save your money and, buy discount stones as they come in, but don't spend those stones immediately. Go ahead and try to pocket as many of those as humanly possible for the next couple of months because these banners are amazing. Now, also with the 3-year anniversary, in JP, we got these LR banners. We got one for Broly, for Majin Vegeta, for who else? Goku Black, and for Gohan. Now, we might not get Goku Black because we already had him on a featured banner, and we might get some different stuff, and this might not even happen on Global, but this is what happened on JP, so I figured I'd report it. This has 12 featured SSRs. Each one, I believe, has 12 featured SSRs, so it's a little better than the 14, not as good as the 10, definitely not as good as the usual 7 featured units in a Dokkan Fest, so it's really, really difficult to pull LR Gohan. For free-to-play players, I would say don't even bother. Don't even bother. If you're looking around at the other SSRs you could possibly pull, it's very easy to walk away with nothing good at all. The only unit on here that is top tier besides LR Gohan is the physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and he's just a support unit, so I wouldn't worry too much about going deep into this. You could walk away very disappointed. Now, if you have a ton of stones left over after summoning on the LR banners, for whatever reason, if you get super lucky, maybe then it's worth going for it. I also want to note that all of the other LRs are featured, or not featured, are in this banner in the general pool, so there's a slight chance to get any of them on each other's banners, including the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but he has not been released on Global yet, and I don't know if he will be, so we'll talk about that here in a second. We will talk about that. But the next Dokkan Fest, now, these next several banners that I'm going to talk about, a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them probably will be, probably 2 rather, but 2 or 3 of them will be between the Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren banner and the 3-year anniversary. And Global could do this in any order. I'm just telling you the order that it came out in the Japanese version. So first we have Bardock. We're actually overdue for Bardock, so he is most likely, in my opinion, going to be next, but he also might get pushed back a little bit. All of this stuff about he's a Dragon Ball Heroes unit, don't worry about any of that stuff. It's a Dokkan Fest banner. It's not advertising the Dragon Ball Heroes game. This unit will come to Global. Same way that Mass Saiyan came, same way that Super Saiyan 3 Broly came to Global. There's no need to worry about this unit not coming to Global. He's going to come to Global. I've explained that before, but you know, like I want to make that very clear that there's no reason for this unit not to come to Global. The Dragon Ball Heroes specific banners, yeah, no, we won't see that unless Dragon Ball Heroes gets an international release, but the specific Dokkan Fest characters, those aren't barred from Global. So this is a pretty solid banner. This is your next chance to get Golden Frieza, which is another reason why I say that the Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren banner is a skip. It's a pretty solid banner. However, if this comes out before the 3-year anniversary, it's probably going to be a skip for most of you free-to-play players because you're going to want to save your stones for the LRs. If this comes out afterwards, it still could very reasonably be a skip. One thing to note is if you want to run the Super Saiyan 3 team, the AGL Bardock, the SR one, does Dokkan Awaken into a Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, and I personally run him as a leader and grab a Int Super Saiyan 3 Bardock friend, and that Super Saiyan 3 team works decently. It works all right. It's not too terribly bad, but you know, these are just options for you, so you don't have to feel obligated to pull on the Bardock banner because there are better things. Now, this came out on Christmas for JP, but the Tapion banner, I wanted to mention this before we go any further. Now, of course, you've got, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, was that right? Yeah, 10 featured SSRs, so it's not really a Dokkan Fest, which means that you do have a chance to pull LRs off of this. Very, very unlikely. This is when Super Saiyan 3 Goku debuted. We might on Global get a Super Saiyan 3 Goku Dokkan Fest, not Dokkan Fest, but banner where he's featured. We might get that. I have no idea. They might save this for Christmas time, but excuse me, it doesn't seem super likely because Tapion will be back on a banner in the future. but then again, he could also be pulled from that banner. So we'll talk more about that in a second. But this one for me, for free-to-play players, I would say is a huge skip. None of these units are really super great. If you pull an LR off of it, yeah, that's awesome, but the chances are so low, I would say not to worry about it. For paying players, I would even say possibly skip this. If you absolutely have to have that Super Saiyan 3 Goku and you want him as soon as possible, I can't stop you. It's your game, you make your own decisions, but I still feel the need to give you my 2 cents about it, just so you have all the information, and then you can, come to your own conclusion about what to do. Now, the next Dokkan Fest that came out on JP was the Turles banner. And the Turles banner is actually a pretty solid banner, all things considered. It does have the Tapion on there, so if you want him, then there he is. His category is not very good, and he doesn't really fit well on any team, but Turles is really nice, especially for the Extreme Z Awakening stages for the Family Kamehameha, Goku, Gohan, and Goten. So that's something, but if you have a good enough villains team, you can grab a Turles friend for the most part and get through that pretty easily. I did it with AGL Rose, and it was really frustrating, and I did rely on the Devilman trick on the very last stage, but I got through most of it just using regular old teams that weren't overpowered, because my JP, it's not as good as my global, let's just say that. So Turles himself is a pretty solid unit. He works on a couple of different teams, but you've also got Janemba and Cooler, so if you still don't have Cooler, like me, I still don't have Cooler, this is a chance to get him. The physical Broly's alright, but it's a pretty decent banner. If this comes out before the LRs, I would say skip. If it comes out after, I would say skip, and here's why. The next big banner, which may come out directly after the LRs, it may come out before as a way to kind of like try to suck your stones away, is the Vegeta banner. And so you've got your Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. He's amazing. He's a fantastic unit. You've got Jiren's Dokkan Awakening that coincides with this banner, so Jiren will be there. JP had Ultimate Gohan on here, as well as the Topo and Dispo and the new Ribrian and 17, which, they're all right. Topo's really, really great. Dispo, some people love him. I personally think he's a little meh. Just because he takes a long time to get to the point where he's actually doing a significant amount of damage. But if your battles are slow enough, then he can actually put in some work. But this is definitely a great banner to pull on. But once again, if it's before the LRs, I would recommend halts, don't pull on it. All these units will be back at some point. If you're worried about not being able to pick up Jiren, then I would recommend pulling on the Ultra Instinct Goku banner and trying to get Jiren then, and then, just stop at 1 and hope that this banner comes after the LRs. We could get these in any order. It could, they're going to release them how they want to release them. They're going to pull units from it if they want. They're going to add new units if they want. It's just, they do what they think is best from a business standpoint. They do what they think is best to sell as many stones as possible. They're a business, that's the whole thing. But this is a great banner. If it's after the LRs, it's pretty much the next big thing to look forward to. It's live in JP right now, so it's fresh. It's fresh. If you're watching this video in the future, that's where we are chronologically. So I get a lot of comments where people don't know how old the video is. So Vegeta's live right now for me. So if you're in the future, keep that in mind. All right. Next I want to talk about any Dokkan Fest, mini Dokkan Fest, such and such, or any banner that has 3 featured SSRs. Right now, we've got the type banners coming along. Pretty much, if you need one of the units that are there's 3 SSRs, so the chances of pulling the one unit that you want they're pretty high. They're pretty high. Currently, we've got the type banners going on. In Global, the first multi you're guaranteed to get one of the 3 featured units. You're guaranteed to get that as the last unit of the summon. If that's the case, I would say if you need one of the units, go ahead and throw a multi at it and then call it a day from there, because these aren't super worth for the most part. But if you really need one specific unit, or you really want one specific unit even, this is a pretty good way of going about it. Most of them don't have the featured SRs like this one has, but regardless, you still have the same chances with 3 SSRs on there. And then finally, I want to talk about category and type specific, the max level type banners. Category banners are nice because they're generally discounted for the first 3. They're generally 30 stones, so that's a really good way of spending your stones. You get a lot of good units. There's a slight chance on both of these banners to pull an LR, but don't bank on that. Mostly for the category banners, if you pull the category lead and then the category banner comes out and you realize that you don't really have a whole lot of units to put on that team, here you go. Here's a pretty good way of filling the team out. Now, there won't be a whole lot of top tier units on any of these because none of them are Dokkan Fest, and Dokkan Fest are generally speaking the best units to put onto a team, but this should help you fill a team out at least a little bit. They're generally GSSR featured units at the end of the summon, so that can help out a little bit. But once again, for free to play players, for the most part, it's pretty much if you're surviving, save for those LRs. Don't worry about all of this other stuff. And then about the max level banners. During the 3-year anniversary, some of them had, or I think all of them came out with orbs attached to them, and then only one Elder Kai. That's a good way to get potential orbs, but it's always a good way to get Kais, and the fact that it has those 40% 3 key support units on them, that's really nice. But the thing is that these banners aren't really all that great. Besides that, there is a small chance to pull the LR of a specific type. Not super high, but pretty much after the banner for that LR has come and gone, that LR will be put into the type banners. So it's up to you. It's up to you. If you need the Kais, this is a good way to get it. If you need the orbs when those come around, if those come around, that's a good way to get them. And I would not recommend hunting for LRs this way, although besides their own featured banners, this is your best chance of getting a specific LR. So those are my thoughts on all of the upcoming banners. Basically what it comes down to is LR Vegeta and LR Gogeta are the best banners for your buck, with honorable mention to the Jiren Ultra Instinct Goku banner that's coming up, because that's also a buy 3 get 1, and those are always good ways to spend your stones. Anyway, let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoy this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm always into that kind of stuff. If you want to get notified for when I go live and put out new videos, you can hit that bell. That's always an option, and it does make my heart feel super happy. So there is that. I can't really offer you anything else, but if that sounds like a deal to you, it's a deal to me, you know? All right, so that's enough of that. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.